Hello, I'm Chris. Welcome back to my reading corner. I just thought I'd do a quick update of what I'm reading. I was hoping to get this out on Friday, but I didn't get a chance because I went out for some food on Friday, and then Saturday was a busy day with Sam, and I had an early night because I was knackered. He's just gone to his friends for a couple of hours, so I thought I'd just get this down while I've got some time. It's just a quick update, really, what I'm reading, what I want to read next, stuff like that. A bit of a different angle today, just thought I'd try something different. I'm reading The Cruel Sea by Nicholas Monserrat. I was struggling with this book and I put it down for a bit, and I've still not picked it up since. I'm enjoying it. I don't know, I just found like I was much as I was reading it and making progress. I mean, I'm about 240 pages in, so I have not made much progress, but not as much as I wanted. I thought I'd have finished it by now, so I want to get back onto that, which I'm hoping to start. But I've got a couple of other books I'm currently reading, which I'm going to go through in a minute. I'm still working my way through Noam Chomsky. I've read a bit more than last time. I'm on chapter 4 of about 25 chapters, so I am making slow progress in that. I just find it's a really interesting book, but it's a lot of back and forth from the front of the book to the back of the book, going through the notes and finding the notes, and which makes it feel like a bit of a slog when you're reading a longer chapter. I'm also still reading James and the Giant Peach with my son, although he's changed to Astro Chimp, where I'm not sure I've put that now. We're reading Astro Chimp as well. I can't see that. No, can't see Astro Chimp, which is by David Walliams as well, which he's enjoying that. No, I can't see what that is. Yeah, so reading that as well, enjoying this. He's not wanted to read this for a while. He wanted to read Astro Chimp instead, so whether I get to finish it, I don't know. I might have to read it myself, if not. I'm currently reading A Brief History in Time by Stephen Hawking, which I'm really enjoying. I find it really interesting about the universe and stuff like that, and it's very interesting, like about black holes, and it mentions the Big Bang and stuff like that. And I mean, I picked it up because it was Ian Brown was reading it in Harry Potter, and that's why I thought I didn't think I'd enjoy it as much as I am. I'm about 150 pages in. I'm hoping to finish it tonight, or well, while he's at his friends. I've got stuff to do, but I might just read this instead. I've got studying to do, and I could do while he's not here. I've got other bits I want to do, like a bit of writing I want to do and stuff. So I'm swaying between the writing and reading at the minute more than studying, but I might study later, or I might write later, I don't know. Anyway, but I'm enjoying that, so I'll probably read that after I finish this. I'm also currently reading Hit Parade of Tears by Izumi Suzuki. This is like a short story collection so far. It is a short story collection, but so far I've read about 3 stories is what I was trying to... No, I've read 3 stories so far, and they're quite interesting, the stories, really. One was about a guy who was an alien who came visiting Earth, a trial witch who was a woman who could change her husband and kept changing him to different things, which was quite funny, and then Full of Malice, which was like a psychiatric ward where they take your malice away from your brain, which I found was quite interesting. That was only short though, so I don't think it really got into, because it was so short you kind of didn't get into the story enough for me. The next one I'm actually going to read is actually called Hey, It's a Love Psychedelic, so I want to try and read that tonight as well. So I've got that finish Stephen Hawking, read a short story in that. I did want to try and read a chapter in here as well. Next up, I am also reading Charles Bukowski still. I'm trying to read a Bukowski a month, although this one's taken me a while to read, a bit longer than they usually do. I want to read this, South of No North, and Hot Water Music by the end of the year. I'm not sure whether I could get another one in after that, but I'm not sure which would be after that, whether it would be I don't know if it's got in here. No, it doesn't, because it's a Virgin. It only shows you what's available via Virgin, whereas other books have got the list. So I imagine it would either be More Notes for a Dirty Old Man, or The Most Beautiful Woman in Town. So I might try and do Safe and No North next month, and then at the end of the year do one, or try and do, if it's the 4 I want to read is those 4, because I want to get into his novels. I've read all his novels apart from Pulp, but I want to reread those. But I'll read those not in publication order. I think it goes, I'm not sure now, but it goes Hammond Rye. I think it goes Hammond Rye, Factotum Women, Post Office Hollywood, or something like. I can't remember the order, but I'll figure it out anyway, because I'll know when the order I read it is that order anyway. So yeah, Bukowski. I enjoy Bukowski. Sometimes I think it's just hard to read, or not hard to read, because I think it's quite switchy off your reading, but I do find sometimes when he talks about horse racing and women, I do kind of switch off a bit, but I do quite like his lowbrow literature, I'd say it is. But I do enjoy it. But also, I would say that that's what I was going to say now. Although I do think, I'm not sure about. I don't know. I find it hard to talk about Bukowski, because maybe I need to do a video on this. But I love his writing. I think his writing it's always quite succinct, and it's quite precise what he's saying. It's not too layered, but it works how it is, because it's just, how he does it. I don't know. I'm on the fence with Bukowski. I love Bukowski, but also can understand why he's problematic, or why people might not like him. Next up, the books I want to read next. Now, I've got a few from the library I want to read. I grabbed these thinking, well, I've got 2 short ones and a longer one. And the shorter one, the first short one is Summer Crossing by Truman Capote. Now, I've not read any Truman Capote. I've not read Breakfast at Tiffany's. I've not read that, although I have got that on order from the library. I need to pick that up. And I've not read In Cold Blood. I have In Cold Blood, but I don't have the other 2, so I got them from the library. But this is the next one, because this is due sooner than anything else I'm reading, so I fancy reading this next. Well, I've got quite a stack for tonight, so I'm like reading, studying, or writing. I'm swaying towards writing, because I feel like the writing I'm doing is journaling, and it's helping so much, and I'm a bit behind on it, more than I want to be. And last weekend was a really good weekend with my son, so I'd like to that's where I'm up to, so I'd like to try and do 2 more days of that, maybe 3 if I can, and then that starts the week again. Friday was a harder night. To be honest with you, I struggled Friday night, and I'm still struggling what I was struggling with Friday night anyway. It's just constantly on my mind, really. I don't know, I'm just struggling a bit at the minute. Not too much, not like really badly, but feel like I'm struggling enough to make a comment of it here anyway. But yeah, I don't know. I've been struggling, and it's been going around in my mind all weekend, and it still is now. And I don't know. I need to try and push it away or deal with it better than what I am doing. But I don't know what to do about that yet. Anyway, back on with the books. Anyway, it's a little tangent anyway. But yeah, so I think journaling will help, because I think I need to catch up on it, and just because that way then I can get out the feelings that I'm feeling now rather than what I was feeling last week. So if I can catch up with it, or even if I put the days in and then write what I want to write first, that's a possibility. But I haven't been feeling great this weekend. That's as well why this video's a bit later than what I wanted. So this says, flame-haired Grady McNeil is beautiful, rich and defiant. Her privileged society life leaves her wanting more than her conventional parents have in mind for her. and excitement comes in the form of the highly unsuitable Clyde, a Brooklyn-born Jewish parking attendant. When Grady's mother and father leave her alone one summer in their New York penthouse, her secret affair intensifies, and she is forced to make decisions that will alter her future indelibly. Anticipating Holly Golightly with its free-spirited heroine, Truman Capote's recently discovered debut novel is also a captivating portrayal of first love. So that sounds quite good. It's only short, so I'm not hoping it won't take me long, because it's not about how fast you read, but I don't think it'll take me too long. I've not read any of this author either. This is a new author. No, all these three here are new authors. This is Frederick Backman, A Man Called Ove. Ove is almost certainly the grumpiest man you'll ever meet. He thinks himself surrounded by idiots, joggers, neighbours who can't reverse a trailer properly, and shop assistants who talk in code. But isn't it rare these days to find such old-fashioned clarity of belief and deed, such unswerving conviction about what the world should be, and a lifelong dedication to making it just so? In the end, you will see there is something about Ove that is quite irresistible. That sounds quite good, actually, and it seems to be a major film. Usually, when I see this, it already is a film. I'm never ahead of the game. I think the last time I was ahead of the game was when I read The Good Liar, which I've read but I've never watched the film, so I might be ahead of the game with this, hopefully. This is on reserve, that's why this has been pushed up. That wouldn't have been what I read next, but because it's on reserve, I don't like, when something's on reserve, I like, right, okay, you're on reserve, I need to read you before I read something else. So, and the last book I'm going to talk about is The Crying of Lot 49 by Thomas Pynchon. I'm not sure if it's the best place to start. I do have Gravity's Rainbow, which is a massive book. I want to read that, but I think that's going to take me a long time to read. So I think this might be a good start. Might not be the best start, but surely it's got to be better than a magnum opus of such a big book that it'll take me ages to read. So this says, suffused with rich satire, chaotic brilliance, verbal turbulence and wild humour, The Crying of Lot 49 opens as Audipedia Mass discovers that she has been made executrix of her former lover's estate. The performance of her duties sets her on a strange tale of detection in which bizarre characters crowd in to help or confuse her, but gradually death, drugs, madness and marriage combine to leave Oedipia in isolation, on the threshold of revelation awaiting the crying of Lot 49. So that sounds good. But again, I think this is only... Yeah, they're both 142 pages, but I imagine that'll be more denser to read than that will. I'm not saying that that's not going to be well written. I just think that's going to be a bit more of a... Looking at the writing size, that's Thomas Pynchon, and that's Truman Capote. Sorry, so I think that'll take us slightly longer than that, but they're both the same length. So I'm hoping that I'll get through quite a lot of that. I want to try and finish. I want to finish Stephen Hawking tonight, and I want to read that short story in that Izumi Suzuki short story, and some Bukowski. And if I get some Noam Chomsky read as well, that'd be great. If I can start Summer Crossing tonight, I'll be made up with that. I don't know what time it is now, but he's out till about 8 o'clock, so I've got 4 hours, just under 4 hours now, to either do some reading, writing or studying or whatever I want to do. But I do feel like the writing is more important than the reading, or at least I might read a chapter before I do some writing. I'm not sure how to do it yet, but I'm swaying more get how I'm feeling out than reading. But I'll still make sure as soon as he's asleep tonight, the reading will be on. I'll be reading. So yeah, I'll make sure I do get some good reading as well, because I think I need to. I think I just need to lose my. I think it'd be good to start read a short story. I mean, the Stephen Hawking book is interesting, but I think a short story might just be a bit more like let my brain switch off a bit, because I feel like I'm not struggling to concentrate when I'm reading. I'm concentrating, but I just think my mind just wanders a bit sometimes at the minute. I don't know, but I'm doing good other than that. But I just wanted to get this quick video out there. I'm trying to get the consistency of once a week. I know this is a bit overdue from Friday, but it's I want to make sure that I get one out, and I'm going to try and I'm hoping to get one out on Friday with what I'm reading next weekend. Somebody mentioned weekend plans, end of year plans. Well, my end of year plans is basically getting through all these library books that I've ended up hiring out. Like I've got the ones I've mentioned, so let's see. Yeah. So The Cruel Sea, Hit Parade of Tears, A Brief History of Time, Summer Crossing, The Crown of Lot 49, A Man Called Ove are all from the library. So that's 6 books there from the library that I'm working through, or I've started 3. Is that right? Started 3? Yeah, I've started 3, so I'm hoping to finish one at least, or 2. And then I've got other books from the library, like I've got like a couple like non-fiction ones about music, like Cured by Lol Tolhurst, How to Run a Label by Alan McGee, and then I've also got things like William Gaddis, The Recognitions, I think. I've got quite a few books at the minute, but I just wanted to show what I'm currently planning on reading, because I think that video, I think I'm going to try and I want to think about what I want to read, like I say, because I wasn't sure about the Bukowski stuff. It'd be good to nail that down and know what books I want to read by the end of the year on that side of things as well. I know I've got Clive Barker Books of Blood Volume 2 I've not picked up yet, so I won't mind trying to pick that up, but I'm not with the library books. I'm finding I've got that many out. I'm trying to just get through those, which next year I've decided there'll be not as many library books, there'll not be as much rereading, and I want to do a lot more reading stuff that I haven't read, which obviously with not rereading stuff it makes sense, but I always start the year with Breakfast of Champions. I probably will still do that. I still will probably read my favourite books throughout the year, but I think that's where I'll keep it to. So that's what I'll probably read. That's next year though. I don't know whether this is just me, but I feel like I don't want to plan too much what I'm reading, because sometimes what with these library books, say all these 3 are back on the same day, I'll go, right, what do I fancy reading, and I'll read the first page, and then if I get comfy I carry on. That's usually how I've been picking my books. Summer Crossing I'll probably do the same. If I fancy it and I get into it, I'll carry on with it, and if I don't, then I'll probably take it back and then read A Man Called Ove, or I might just carry on with the. I mean, I don't know how long the 276 is the short story collection. I'll be about 100 pages in with that short story. I think that's probably too much to try and finish, but I'm just kind of reading one every time I finish a novel, really, or a book. I did read a couple of others actually I've not mentioned. I've finished McGlue by Atesha Moss-Fegg. I'm not sure if I pronounced that right. That was okay. Couldn't really get into it that much. There was another book I read as well. Oh, Failed It by Eric Kessels, which was a book Matt Wall picked up from, I'm not sure what his channel's called. It used to be Paperback Junkie when I first started watching it. But he mentioned it, and I got that, and I read that. I took my son and his friend to the museum, and then they ran off. So I was just sat there reading this, and I think if there'd have been about another 5 minutes, I would have finished the book. And I just sat there reading that. So I really enjoyed that. So yeah, that's 2 books I read. They've gone back to the library now. So yeah, I picked up 2 more. What did I pick up now? I might have picked up 3 more. I can't remember what I picked up now. I think I got Wild Gas or Sea. I got Mouse by Art Spiegelman. And I got something else and I can't put my finger on what else I got. I'm not sure now. But yeah, like I say, I'll probably cover what I'm reading next week. Like I say, I'm definitely hoping to, I'm definitely going to finish Stephen Hawking. I'm definitely going to start Truman Capote. I'm definitely reading short story in that. Whether I read Noam Chomsky or not, that's the iffy one. I'd rather get a chunk in that read, over reading Noam Chomsky, because that's mine, that, so I can read that at my leisure. If it overruns to next year, My plan was to read it like Saturday and Sunday morning when I wake up and got a bit of time to myself, but I haven't this weekend because, like I say, I wasn't in the mood. I just wanted some. Well, I was enjoying reading Stephen Hawking, so I concentrated on that. Anyway, this video's probably gone on a bit too long anyway, but anyway, let me know what you're all reading downstairs. Let me know what you're reading down below. It'd be good to find out what you're reading, or if you've read any of these and you think, the good books or the not so good, or if you've got or if you recommend anything, or what's your favourite book would be interesting as well. Anything you want to comment on, I'll respond to. But yeah, this was just a quick catch up. It's about 20 minutes long, but this was just a bit rambly, but it was just a bit of a catch up of what I've been reading, and like I say, it's just trying to keep the consistency going. I've seen a few tags going round, but at the minute I've not really been. I think I'll probably try and get onto tags maybe in November. I might try and do. I am thinking like what I want to read by the end of the year, what I want to do. Like this year I did 20 books in 24. I've not watched the video again since I made it, so there is a possibility that video, I haven't read much of it as what I planned because of the library books I've been borrowing. So I'm hoping next year to do 25 and 25 and stick to it. And I want to get involved in more in like March Mystery Madness as well. Not necessarily like sticking to the prompts, but more like maybe reading like more crimey stuff, get involved with June on the Range, stuff like that. I just want to get involved in more of, if I've got books like this year, although it's October, I've not read any horror, and I wanted to read Richard Lehman, I wanted to read Stephen King, I wanted to read Sean Hudson, I wanted to read James Herbert. Like westerns, I've got a few westerns I wanted to read, a few edge books, mysteries. I mean, I've got like things like Stuart McBride. I like Mickey Spillane, although it's not exactly like it's not exactly like cozy mystery. It's still like crime. So that's what I want to kind of do next year. But I'm not. I also don't want to put too much thing on the thing of it. Too much like. I don't want it to be too set. I want it to be quite free flowing what I read, because I feel like this year it has been, and I've read more than I ever have. So is that what I want to do next year? I don't know. Like I've enjoyed like I say, when I've gone to the library and then sit down. If I've got comfy, I've carried on with it. If I've not got comfy, I'll pick the next thing up. And so I've got comfy. And some things I've really enjoyed. Like I really enjoyed. I recently read Sonic Youth Slept on My Floor as well. That's another book I've recently read that I enjoyed as well. Which I don't know. I did after reading Kim Gordon's book. I just found it so convoluted, and it was backwards and forwards and backwards and forwards, and I just thought it wasn't linear. And to me, like novels, I don't expect them to be as. I suppose they have to be linear in some ways. But if there is a bit back and forwards in novels, because you're going from this person's perspective to that person's or whatever, but non-fiction to me should be born to death. Maybe that's me, but I think it follows. you know, so the events, it's like you're not going to start World War Two, but with the end of the war, and then, or, you know, before, and then the start of the war, and then, you know, you're not going to move around like that, I don't think. You might, you know, you might talk about specific points in throughout the book, but I don't know. So I just found, but then that Sonic Youth one, I found it really interesting because he did go like, it wasn't like, oh yeah, oh by the way, we did this then. It went on throughout his life as he was a DJ, and he had his magazine as well, and Debris I think it was called, and it was just really good. I really enjoyed that. I'm trying to think, that's everything I've read recently. Because I picked Sonic Youth Slept on My Floor because I was struggling with The Cruel Sea, and I just honestly 3 or 4 days I'd finished it, so I just felt like that book was putting me in a bit of a slump. But since then I've read like 3 books, so, and then I think, like I said, I think Stephen Hawking's will be done tonight. A Brief History in Time. Anyway, I am going to leave that there. But yeah, I'd love to know what your favourite books are, or what you like reading, or what you're reading at the minute. It'd be great. You know, or if you've read any of these. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there, and I will probably film a video. I'm thinking maybe Thursday or Friday this week, I'm not sure. Hopefully Friday, because I like doing the Friday reads, and then it's into the weekend, and that's what I try and read at the weekend. Now it's Sunday night, I'm trying to just hopefully grab those and read. Anyway, I'll speak to you soon. Bye.